He let him sell it. The animosity came from sparring. We didn't spar. I stood him up with sparring, and I hated on him after he won his title or some goofy stuff like that. Nah, the animosity came from me was all the talking, all the behind the scenes trying to, you and your little minions, Shakur, y'all trying to come up with a game plan to get me out the way. That's where all the animosity came. You steady picking, steady saying, steady. It ain't even just like saying I want to fight this dude, but steady just picking and doing little stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's real, yeah, it's for sure real animosity in this fight. And I don't, I don't, I don't mess with dude at all, like, at all. Not his soul, bro. You
When
feel
you
me?
when you say like trying to get you out of the way, like them as a group or just like Ray?
Them as a group, I think what they wanted was they want a group of people that's running the game.
Now you see, now what part of boxing is that? Shakur tried to form a protection group. Okay? He wanted to align himself up with anybody that he thought can knock him off, get him in his little powder puff gang so he wouldn't have to fight him. And whoever they did were going to fight, they was going to so-called group up together to get them knocked off so they can run in the boxing game and do whatever the hell they want, not fight each other and this and that. That's why one of the first people that he recruited after that was Keyshawn Davis. Anybody that he think can topple him or knock him over, he wanted to create a safety net, a group of guys. Listen, one thing I like about boxing is it's an individual sport. Every man carries himself. It's not like a team sport. This dude want to create a super team of fighters that not just for the benefit of being a team, for the benefit of he wouldn't have to run into nobody. And you want to know why that is? Because it's been made very clear that Shakur, by his homeboy, is scared to death of losing, just like Tank. Now, if you scared to death of losing, what are you going to try to do? Form an insurance policy? And what type of insurance policy is that? I'm going to try to get anybody who look like they can knock me off or topple me or steal my shine or whatever, whatnot. And I'm going to try them to get to be buddy-buddy with them. Now you see why Shakur always trying to be buddy-buddy with everybody. Okay? And in the end, it's ultimately for selfish reasons because the people that he buddying up to, he ain't even thinking about them as a group. He thinking about himself. So they want to get together, swap and compare information to get people knocked off.
You got two scary dudes giving you advice. Hitchens is scary. I don't know what kind of advice he can give. And Shakur, he's not no. All he can do is tell him what he do. Give him advice of what he would do in the ring. You see what I'm saying? So like that ain't like, and he don't got the same skill set. Like he try to fight like Shakur, but when it comes to distance, when it comes to boxing IQ, certain things, yeah, you can be telling them this thing, but what Mike Tyson say?
Game plan out the window once you get
When
punched in
you
the face.
get cracked in the face, you know what I mean? So like y'all can do all that over there, but none of them guys that you spawn and none of them guys that's telling you these pointers know how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? They don't know if I'm coming in orthodox southpaw. They don't know.
And this is what I don't get. This dude got the most shakiest, flaky, and fake behavior I have seen in boxing ever. Once again, I got to question y'all ninjutsu logic, okay? Because how do y'all take up for a guy that then sold me out, you out, the entire tribe out countless of times? He ended up on Aiden Ross' podcast claiming he don't know who he is, but he spent all his time on Twitter, okay? He ran out there with the Puerto Rican flag. He said Lomachenko and Tyson Fury is the GOAT, but cussed out Frank Martin, put down Muhammad Ali put down Sugar Ray Robinson, said that he was buns, and got all the smoke for everybody else. Then the people he got smoke for, he don't even want to fight. He want to form an alliance to get not none of these Mexicans or none of these Latinos knocked off, but to get another brother knocked off. And this is who y'all championing for. This is y'all man. Once again, that ninjutsu logic don't make no sense. See, that on the line with me. That on the line with me. And the crazy part is, I ain't did nothing but hold him to his word. But see, in the ninjutsu clan, y'all don't know nothing about that. Holding people to your word, being a man of your word, that's a lost art to y'all. I understand that, okay? But some people still hold that. You know what I'm saying? And in my tribe, that still holds sway. You know, it was this thing back in the day called show and prove. We were big on that. You couldn't just talk it. You had to show it and prove it. And because I'm asking somebody to show it and prove it, you sensitive about it? Y'all want to base fights off what y'all think will happen, so therefore it don't got to happen. What type of stuff is that? What type of stuff is that? That's some Courage the Cowardly Dog type stuff, man. I don't understand what you're talking about with that. See, it's one thing to say this dude got a lot of skill, so he'll beat the brakes off of A, B, and C. Look, I get it. I get it. But the question is, do the person that you believe in they self? I believe Tank can do a whole lot of stuff. I believe when Tank wasn't ready for Loma, Tank could have took Loma out. But Tank didn't believe that. I don't care how skilled Shakur is. Okay? Shakur honestly don't believe that. I learned that in the Zepeda fight. He really don't think he's all that. He talked that, you know what I'm saying? And he got the skills like that. But deep down, he really don't feel like he that. Because it would show. When you see Crawford, you could tell he really feel like he that. Why? Because it shows, right? Now let's take somebody like Errol Spence, for example, who I've always said is limited. Even with being limited, Errol Spence still believe he is that. Why? Because it shows. It shows. Okay? He didn't care how many times Crawford put him on his pockets. Errol was going to get back up until somebody had to step in and save him. Okay? That's called dog. Right? That's called dog. Matter of fact, nah, I ain't even gonna cut to that right now. We're gonna say that for a different video. We're gonna say the art of dog for a different video. But the point is, Shakur, I told you I've been peeped it about him. He ain't got that dog. All right? That fight with the Mexican that he ran in the last couple of rounds. I can't remember his name right now. You know what I'm saying? But he also said, low key, he got hurt in that fight. That's when I knew. I said, you know what, Shakur, you got skills, but you know what? You not tough, bruh. You really don't got no dog. And that's really what it is. Why else would you try to form an alliance in the boxing game? What type of crap is that? And then when you formed it, you ain't even forming it for the right reasons. Okay? You're not even forming it for the right reasons. How about you form it so to basically balance out the imbalances and the contradictions that they have in boxing when it comes to y'all American fighters? How about forming an alliance based off that? Not forming an alliance against another American. What type of shit is that? And he ran out here with the Puerto Rican flag? What's wrong with y'all? Something is wrong with y'all. Like I said, that ninjutsu logic, y'all don't know how to stand on true business. You don't know what true, you know what somebody said in my comment section, and it's the realest shit. And I heard somebody like, well, what the hell does that mean? I'm gonna tell you what it means. What he said was, they only want us to be on code for bullshit. Now, to me, that's self-explanatory. So it's no question why a member of the Foot Clan couldn't get it. Meaning y'all only want us to be on code for bullshit. Hence, Clarissa Shields, Alicia Baumgartner. Y'all want to be on code for bullshit. All right? But when it comes to Deontay Wilder and the Tyson Fury situation, all right? When it comes to Terrence Crawford and the whole snack stuff and all that other stuff, you know, y'all only want to be on code for bullshit, but when it's shit that actually count, shit that's actually going to move the needle, y'all don't give a fuck about it. Y'all do not care. Y'all do not care. Once again, how many times I got to say this? All right? Y'all go to war for King Von, but got no smoke for Trayvon. Why do you think that is? That's called coward. Why do you think in LA, y'all say, oh man, the Latinos, man, they cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Meanwhile, it's a dude, a young black man who can't even sit in the park to check directions without you trying to check him. Talk about, do we know where he at? And don't be smiling so much. Like I said, back of a Chinese food restaurant. And you know why I say that, right? So they can chop you up and serve you to the rest of the ninjutsu clan. Straight up. That's why I say it. Y'all ain't got no real logic. Meanwhile, the Latino aligned himself with the white supremacy or the white supremacist in the jail cell. They homeboys. They gang up against you. But you talk about, we cool. Oh, Latino, man, they cool, bro. I don't never see none of them say that about y'all. Like I said, ninjutsu logic, bro. I'm just pointing it out. And y'all form together to get him knocked off. Why? Do that to the Latinos. They doing it to y'all. But no, the only time you want to use your power is against yourself. Where have we heard that before? That's that classic story, bro. Okay? That's that Farrakhan and Malcolm shit. Straight up. That's that Farrakhan and Malcolm shit. Okay? Nation Islam talk all that good shit. But every battle you have faced on the world stage, where were they? You notice they always silent? You notice that? But they for the black man, they for the Asiatic black man, they for this, they for that. But every time it's time to stand on some real stuff, they never around. Do you want to know why that is? And you know I always got to hit y'all with some real shit before I go. Do you know why that is? Because, see, Islam, the nation, they read out the Quran, right? Now, I'm going to tell you something. The KKK read out of a book called the Quran. They read from the Quran. The KKK reads from the Quran. Behind closed doors, this is what y'all don't never understand, they're brothers. Yeah, I know you ain't know that because you don't care to know nothing. That's right. I know you don't know. Okay, they're brothers. That's why the Shriners and that's why the Nation of Islam have the same crescent moon. I know I'm getting too deep for y'all. Okay, but it's a game that they're running so they can keep the game going on the black and white checkerboard. Y'all just don't get it, bruh. Y'all just don't get it. All right? Y'all really don't understand. There's a game that's being ran on you. And your brother is in on it. Like I said, behind closed doors, separate wing, same bird. When they exit those doors, they play a game with you of being adversaries. Why do you think Malcolm said he walked in and seen my man having a meeting with what was his name? Albert Pike? He was like, it was the head of the Ku Klux Klan there. Why do you think that is? Because they run it together, fool. I know that's too deep. I'm gone.